Hey everyone. It's late and I'm bored. Uh, I'm baking a cake right now, and so I decided to do this little thing that's going on in Tumblr. So, hello Tumblr, and hello YouTube. Um, well, my friend Jay did this for YouTube and Tumblr, so I decided I'll give it a try as well. Um, Basically, they have this thing going on in Tumblr where you make a video of yourself and it's basically to talk about dialects and how people pronounce words and around the world, and Tumblr has a lot of people from everywhere. I know a lot of people who follow me. I don't have that many. I have 20, around 21 people who follow me, which is pretty awesome in itself. But I know a lot of them are not from the US, and it's not so much about US as it is about dialects. Like if you're from New York or the South or LA, and then there are people from Australia and the UK and other parts of the world that are on here. So I guess it's just a quiz on what how you pronounce words, and so I thought I'd give it a go. So the first thing they ask is to say certain words, so I'm gonna say them. Aunt, um, wrote or root. I usually say route. Wash, oil, theater, iron, salmon, caramel, fire, water, shore, like shore, data, ruin, crayon, toilet, New Orleans, pecan, both, again, probably, spinning image, Alabama, lawyer, coupon, mayonnaise, syrup, pajamas, and caught. So I'm sure people say them different ways, but that's how I say most of those words. And they also wanted you to answer some questions. So here we go. Uh, what is it called when you throw toilet paper on a house? Growing up in Long Island, it was always TPing a house or bombing it. Uh, One person called it bleaching, which I never got, but I guess because it's all white. But I was only heard that once. But usually it's TPing a house. Um, what is a bug that when you touch it curls into a ball? I know what you're referring to. I've seen the bug. I've never touched one, so I don't know I don't know what it's called, and I don't really care to. Sorry, they kind of creep me out. But it's kind of like a beetle, but it's like got a harder shell, I think. And, I don't know. What is the bubbly carbonated drink called? Uh, I usually call it soda. I mean, that's what we call it here in New York. I do know some places call it pop, some places call it cola, um, seltzer. I mean, it really depends on what you're asking about. There's a lot of carbonated drinks out there. But yeah, we usually call it soda here. Um, what do you call gym shoes? Aside from gym shoes, sneakers, cleats, running shoes, tennis shoes. I know I'm Puerto Rican, so we have a lot of like Spanglish going on, and they call them Denny. So Denny's are something that we say too. Um, what do you say to address a group of people? Depending on the situation, really. I mean, I tutor high school students, so I'm used to saying "Hey guys" or "Hey everyone," "Hey all," "Y'all," um, "Ladies and gentlemen." I don't know. Depends on the situation, of course. What do you call the kind of spider that has an oval-shaped body and extremely long legs? Gross. But daddy long legs. I think that's what it is. I mean, that's what I've usually seen. Uh, what do you call your grandparents? Um, I didn't know my dad's side of the family, so I never really talked to them. But when I finally got in contact with my grandfather on my father's side, I called him granddad. And I never called him grandpa. I called my grandfather on my mother's side grandpa when he was alive. And, but I would say my grandparents, uh, or if my grandmother was alive on my dad's side, I'd call her grandma. But I never called my grandmother on my mother's side grandma. She didn't want to be called grandma. She didn't like that. So and when I was born, she wanted my mom to let me call her mom or mommy. She wanted me to call her mommy. And mom wasn't having it. And when she said, no, you're her grandmother, she'll call you grandma. And she said, no, I don't want to be called grandma. She said, then fine. She's going to call you whatever word comes out of a baby's mouth. And when baby's good, goes ta 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 ta. So she's like, your name's Tata. So that's what I called her, was Tata. Very, very weird. But that's what I called her. But I'm Puerto Rican, so we'd say mis abuelos, or my great grandfather, I call abuelito. And that's pretty much what we'd say about that. Um, what do you call the wheeled contraption in which you carry groceries at the supermarket? The shopping cart? The shopping trolley, I've heard. I've never called it a trolley, but I know people call it a trolley. What do you call it when rain falls while the sun is shining? Rain shower. Um, we have a saying in Spanish called las brujas están casando, which is the witches are getting married, because rain is supposed to be really depressing, but there's sun out, and I don't know. That's what they used to call it, which I thought was kind of cool. What is the thing to change? What is the thing you change a TV channel with? The remote. It's a remote control, or some people call it a clicker. My mom calls it the change channel. she she doesn't know how to call it a remote control. She'll say in Spanish remoto, but she won't say remote in English. She'll say, where's the change channel? I cannot find the change channel. Where's the change channel? Natalia, I can't find the change channel. And then when I answer her, I like, the change channel's over there. So that's what it's called in this house. But I guess that's it. So there you go.